like to call our May 11th work session to order. Please join me for a moment of silence. Please join me as we say the pledge to the
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. Do we have any special recognition?
Yes, Madam Chair, we do. You'll turn your attention to the screen. Okay. Good evening. Tonight we will continue to bring you up to date with regard to the various accolades students and staff members have received this school year. First, I'd like to start with Eastside High School senior Ziana Benjamin, who earned a full Questbridge National Match Scholarship to attend Renewable College, the 13th ranked liberal arts college in the country. Out of 18,500 applicants, Benjamin was one of only 464 to receive a college match scholarship, which is worth an estimated $200,000 and includes full tuition, fees, room and board, books and supplies, and travel expenses. So congratulations to Ziana. Liberty Middle School sixth grader Christian Swope recently saved the life of a classmate who was choking by successfully performing the Heimlich maneuver. Christian's aunt, who happens to be a nurse, had taught him how to perform CPR and the Heimlich maneuver last year. I had the opportunity to award Christian the Superintendent's Coin of Distinction for his life-saving actions. Congratulations to Christian. The Newton County Young Farmer Chapter was named the Region 5 Outstanding Post-Secondary Agricultural Program of the Year by the National Association of Agricultural Educators, or NAAE. This is the highest level of competition and recognition attaining with the association. Our local chapter competed against state winners from Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. The Newton County chapter was recognized as the 2020 NAAE National Convention in December, was recognized at the convention. Eastside High School's FFA program was named the 2020 Horticultural Chapter of the Year by the Georgia North Region Agricultural Education. According to Eastside FFA advisor, Dr. Katrina Pollard, the award is based on student results from agricultural competitions during the 1920 school year. Congratulations to our Eastside FFA program. Newton County School System Director of Technology and Media Services, Dr. Adam File, was named one of the top 30 K-12 IT influencers worth a follow in 2020, according to EdTech Magazine, focused on K-12. The magazine compiled a list of the top 30 influencers who are using social and digital media to inform, engage, and even entertain those in the educational space, from IT leaders, bloggers, podcasters, and social media personalities around the nation. Congratulations to Dr. File. Rise Academy teacher Kelly Bird was named the 2020 Georgia Alternative Education Teacher of the Year by the Georgia Association for Alternative Education. She was recognized during the 2020 Georgia Alternative Education Association Conference. Congratulations to Mrs. Bird. Forecast 5 Analytics named Newton County School System and Dr. Jordan as the Project of the Year award winner for 2020. The district received the award based on its use of geoanalytic data to determine both food service and internet service needs of students. Congratulations to Dr. Jordan. And finally, 2 Eastside High School students, Elizabeth Johnson and Matthew Walker, were selected as finalists to participate in the 2021 Governor's Honors Program. Johnson will study world languages, specifically Latin, while Walker will participate in the Communicative Arts Program. Bree Wharton, a junior at Eastside High School and the Newton College and Career Academy, and Noah Geiger, a sophomore at Newton High School and the Newton College and Career Academy STEM Institute, were named alternates for this year's program. Congratulations to our Governor's Honors finalists and alternates. Madam Chair, this concludes our recognition for the evening.
Thank you. We have some things to be proud about here in our school system. All right. I do not believe we have any public participation this evening, so we will move on to the approval of our agenda. So do I have a motion? The motion was made by Ms. Henderson Baker. Do we have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Anderson Bailey. All in favor? Aye. So now we're move on to the approval of the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Eddie Johnson and Ms. Henderson Baker. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, Superintendent's Reports. Dr. Barr.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. In the financial report, the special purpose local option for education sales tax 5 distribution for April was $1,629,461, which is an increase of $279,597 from the previous month. The title ad valorem tax collection for April was $642,550. And finally, expenditures are within budget with 78.77% of funds expended and 83.33% of the fiscal year complete. Now, board financials for April are there for your review. And that concludes the financial report.
All right, thank you. Any questions? If there are none, we'll move on to the strategic plan report.
Good evening. I will present items from the superintendent's report, beginning first with student achievement and success. The economics education team from Newton High School, coached by Dr. Marcus Williams, won the Georgia Council on Economic Education Congressional District's Stock Market Game 2021 Spring Competition. The team was the highest scoring team in the high school age group for the congressional district. The team will be recognized in a virtual awards ceremony Tuesday, May 11th at 6:30 p.m. On the health quality workforce, new elementary teachers met virtually on Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. This meeting focused on the similarities and differences in instructional strategy from the book Classroom Instruction That Works. Under culture, climate, and communication, all Newton County schools have earned the No Place for Hate distinction for the 2021 school year. This makes Newton County Schools a No Place for Hate district for the 3rd consecutive year. Everyone is proud of this important distinction. And finally, under organizational and operational effectiveness, Title I school visits concluded during the month of April. The Title I coordinator met with each school's principal to discuss questions and/or concerns principals may have regarding the Title I program at their respective schools. Principals also shared the progress of their school's Title I initiatives and their ideas for initiatives for the 2021-22 school year. And those are just some of the highlights from the full superintendent's report.
Thank you. Any of our board members have questions? None. We'll move on to enrollment report.
The enrollment as of May 3rd, 2021 was 18,666 students. We don't have any comparison data because you may remember due to COVID-19 last year, we stopped pulling the report because we were in an entire virtual setting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we will now move on to our old business. And these are,
Yes, ma'am.
Step by step.
That's all right. In item A, in old business, these policies will remain under review, Madam Chair, until the regular meeting on the 18th.
Okay, thank you. So they will remain table until the 18th. All right, moving on to our new business.
Yes, ma'am. Item A, board action is requested this evening. On this item, Superintendent recommends the board adopt a tentative budget for FY 2022 for all governmental funds to be advertised in the newspaper before the approval of a final budget on June 22, 2021. The budget document is provided for your review and remains as presented on April 27th at a special call budget meeting. And that is item A, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve item A?
So moved.
Ms. Henderson Baker, do we have a second? We have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Trey Bailey. Any questions regarding our tentative budget?
I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, I mean. I'm sorry, I gave up. I got this. That's okay.
All right, well, if there are no questions, then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, and the motion passes. All right, moving on to item B.
Yes, ma'am. And item B, the superintendent recommends the annual renewable contract awarded to Pearson Education of Columbia, Maryland be renewed for an additional contract term. The effective date will be July 1, 2021, and the expiration date will be June 30, 2022. As background, Pearson Education's online digital and blended platform, Connexus, delivers rigorous standards-based curriculum, assessments, student data, and reports. This is aligned with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. The purchasing documentation is provided and the funding source is identified, and that is item B.
Thank you. Do we have any questions about this item?
Yeah, just, this is for what? This is not for all the schools, right? This is for whom?
This is for the RISE program, the
Okay.
alternative school.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? If not, we will move on to item C.
In item C, the superintendent recommends the PBIS reward software needed for the school system be purchased from PBIS Rewards of Evansville, Indiana. The total contract value is $30,101.58. PBIS is an evidence-based framework used by schools to improve school culture and student behavior, promoting a safe environment for learning. The software as a service solution provides an automated school-wide PBIS management system that allows school administrators to clearly see how teachers are utilizing PBIS and how PBIS is improving school culture. This is related to Strategic Goal Area 1 and 3. Purchase documentation is provided and the funding source is identified. That is item C, Madam Chair.
All right. Do we have any questions on item C?
I do,
Okay.
Madam Chair. So my question is, so let me say this first. I love PBIS, I do. Even spoke about it at a digital platform during the pandemic. But my question is, for some reason, I was under the impression that the school system had moved away from PBIS and went with a different program. Was it last year or the year before?
Well, I have the Director of Family and Student Services, Ms. Amy Cummings, and she's here to answer that question for you.
I'm sorry, and I missed it. Can you repeat it for me?
Yeah, I said, I thought, I was under the impression that the school system had moved away from PBIS either last year or the year before and went to a different program. It was a conference you attended in December. It was the year Dr. Thomas and I presented at GSBA, because I know that was a reason you couldn't be there and something else was going on.
That is, you're referring to Capturing Kids' Hearts? And
Yes.
that's not a program or an initiative. It's more of a, I don't even know what word to use. Help me with a word. It's more of something the schools can choose. It's a 2-day training, kind of working on teaching the staff how to build relationships with students. It's very specific about student relationships. It's not about school-wide behavior. It does address that to some degree, because when you have relationships with children, but it is a very intense, it requires a lot of training, it requires the full year implementation, but it goes hand in hand with PBIS.
Right.
So PBIS is very strong in our district still. We have 18 schools, and they've continued, to do very well even through virtual learning and through not being in the building, and some in, some out. So we're still very invested in PBIS.
Okay, that was my question. I mean, I love PBIS. Like I said, I even spoke during the pandemic for an organization about it. And the Department of Education guy, I forgot his name, when he found out I was from Newton County, he spoke very highly of Newton County and stuff. But like, so I was under the impression when you guys went to that conference that you guys were looking at getting rid of PBIS or phasing it out. So that
Right.
was my question.
No.
Well, PBIS is more of the tool
Right.
for rewarding the students, where Capturing Kids' Hearts is a professional learning platform to help teachers effectively build relationships to work with students so that they can really foster those behaviors before they become a discipline problem.
Okay,
And Indian Creek has actually chosen to go forward with that this coming school year. So
Okay.
we will have one Capturing Kids' Heart school in the district next year. But still, they do not give up their PBIS. They'll still continue to do both.
okay, okay, thank you.
I've got one question.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, this is a new, PBIS is not new, but is this, it looks in here like they're mentioning an app or something.
So this is
there.
PBIS Rewards. This is a handheld app that teachers recognize students with. So the students have the app, the parents have the app, the teachers, and so they specifically recognize the students rather than the paper tickets that you're accustomed to.
Right,
But this is our third year with PBIS Rewards.
okay.
So we're continuing, the pricing is the same.
Okay.
They've offered us, the same, so.
Perfect, thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item D.
In item D, the superintendent recommends the Title I handbooks needed for the school system be purchased from Rico USA of Atlanta, Georgia. The total cost is $49,195.11. Title I is required to provide a number of documents to families of school children within the school system. These documents provide a description of Title I, its programs and benefits, and advise them of their rights under federal law. They also provide resources to encourage and develop parental and family engagement in their children's education. The school system will utilize a managed print services contract overseen by Omnia Partners, a national purchasing cooperative. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1 and Strategic Goal Area 3. Purchasing documentation is provided, as well as the funding source. That is item D, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Are there any questions about item D? If none, we will move on to item E.
In item E, the superintendent recommends that technology accessories needed for the school system be purchased from Vivacity Tech PBC of St. Paul, Minnesota. The total cost will be $182,800. The technology department is purchasing select technology accessories to support classroom instruction. The power chargers will be utilized to assist students if their mobile devices need to be charged. The headphones will be utilized by teachers with the soft phone technology on their laptops. The school system will utilize a contract managed by the Interlocal Purchasing System, a national purchasing cooperative, to procure the equipment. The items and the cost are there for your review, and this deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Strategic Goal Area 4, and Strategic Goal Area 2. Purchasing documentation is provided, as well as the funding source. That concludes item E.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? None, we will move on to item F.
The superintendent recommends the educational video resources needed for the school system be purchased from Brain Pop of New York, New York. The total cost is $46,091.25. Individual schools are allowed the flexibility to use their allotted Title I funds in a way that supports and aligns with strategies identified in their Title I school-wide plan. Accordingly, select schools have chosen to invest in Brain Pop's educational video resources. Brain Pop offers hundreds of animated educational videos across a wide variety of topics, all of which are accompanied by interactive quizzes, activities, and games. The content is intended for students in grades 3 through 12 and covers materials in ELA, math, science, social studies, health, art, and technology. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, student achievement and success. Purchasing documentation is provided. Funding source is identified. That is item F, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Any questions about item F? There are none, we will move on to item G.
In item G, the superintendent recommends the annual renewable contract awarded to Frontline Education of Malvern, Pennsylvania, be renewed for an additional contract term. The effective date will be July 1, 2021, and the expiration date will be June 30, 2022. The total contract value is $140,000 $100.98. As background, Edivate, a product offered by Frontline Education, provides for a web-based, on-demand solution that supports the establishment of a systematic, job-embedded professional learning program. The solution allows educators to access thousands of award-winning professional development videos on hundreds of topics. Product management tools ensure professional learning plans are customizable and personalized. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. Strategic Goal Area 2, High-Quality Workforce. Purchasing documentation is provided, and the funding source is provided also. That is item G.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Moving on to item H.
In item H, the superintendent recommends the social and emotional learning software needed for the school system be purchased from Rethink Ed of New York, New York. The total cost is $76,000. Rethink Ed provides an evidence-based social and emotional learning solution that is flexible, scalable, and is designed to empower educators to meet the needs of children and their families. The Rethink SEL platform provides students, teachers, administrators, counselors, and parents, caregivers, the tools to develop stronger emotional support systems. School counselors will have the ability to assign lessons based on group and individual requirements and have access to resources to assist students both in and out of the classroom. Rethink SEL helps to meet the needs of the whole child. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1 and 3. Purchase documentation is provided, and the funding source is identified. And that is item H, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any questions about item H? Or none, we will move on to item I.
The superintendent recommends the approval of a service agreement with Medical Provider Services Incorporated for Medicaid billing and administrative outreach services. The school system continues to process Medicaid billing for students in special education who receive speech and language therapy. Medical Provider Services Incorporated provides assistance with the actual enrollment of new Medicaid-eligible students, billing for services, and informing the school system of programs and activities that are potentially reimbursable. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 4, organizational and operational effectiveness. A copy of the contract is provided for your review, and the funding source is identified. And that concludes item I.
Thank you. Any questions? There are none. Item J.
In item J, the superintendent recommends the approval of the agreements with the following to provide speech services, occupational therapy, physical therapy, vision services, deaf, hard of hearing services, and nursing to students with disabilities in accordance with their individualized education program for the 2021-2022 school year. And those agreements include AMN Healthcare, Dynamic Therapy Solutions, Educational-Based Services, EDU Healthcare, Caris Rehabilitation Services, National Staffing Solutions, Pediatric Services of America, the Stepping Stones Group. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success, Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational and Operational Effectiveness. Contracts are provided for your review, and the funding source is included. And that is item J.
Thank you. Any questions? If not, we will move on to item K.
In item K, the superintendent recommends the approval of agreements with individuals to provide physical therapy and occupational therapy services to students with disabilities in accordance with their individualized education programs for the 2021-2022 school year. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1 and 4. Contracts are provided for your review. Funding source is included, and that is item K, Madam Chair.
Any questions? All right, moving on to item L, excuse me.
In item L, the superintendent recommends the approval of agreements for itinerant staff to provide services for students with disabilities in accordance with their individualized education programs for the 2021-2022 school year. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success, and Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational and Operational Effectiveness. Contracts are there for your review, and the funding source is included. And that is item L.
Thank you. Any questions? None. We will move on to item M, and this we will be taking a vote on tonight.
Yes, ma'am. The superintendent recommends the approval of a memorandum of understanding between the University of Georgia and the Newton County School District concerning the Georgia College Advising Corps. The total cost will be $144,000. As background, the Georgia College Advising Corps seeks to raise student aspirations to pursue post-secondary education and to ensure that each student has access to the support and resources needed to navigate the path to college. Approval of this memorandum of understanding will provide each of our base high schools with a full-time near-peer advisor who has recently graduated from college. These advisors will work in collaboration with school counselors, teachers, and administrators to increase college-going rates of the school system students. GCAC identifies, recruits, and hires these advisors, provides ongoing training and support to ensure successful implementation of the GCAC advisement program. Key performance indicators are collected and monitored throughout the year and shared with school staff. These indicators provide metrics in the areas such as individual student advisement, family engagement, financial aid assistance, college entrance test registrations, college exposure activities, college application, and scholarship awards. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. The Memorandum of Understanding and Policy Manual are there for your review, and the funding source is identified. And that is item M, Madam Chair, for action this evening.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve item M?
So moved.
Mr. Trey Bailey, do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Henderson Baker? All right, is there any discussion?
I do have a question. So I'm looking at the contract or the MOU, and I'm just, the person reports to the CAC?
Yes, ma'am.
So who supervises the person while they're here? Because it looks like they come here, right?
Right, so they'll be housed in an office at each school every day, all week long. So they have,
Because I see it says employ an administrative team which will supervise the advisor.
so they have an administrator at the school identified, as well as what they call a school contact, which is typically one of the counselors that works with them and oversees what they do in our schools, but they're employed by GCAC, so we don't necessarily evaluate them. But in the policy manual, there's a great deal of information regarding what the expectations are, what GCAC requires of them, what the school system can expect from them as far as professional behavior and the kind of work that they're bringing to the table.
So you're going where I wanted to know, Dr. Smith, because they're fresh out of college.
Right,
So
right.
they're professional around the high school, they're close in age.
Right.
And talking about some, like fun stuff, like getting them to college. So I just had concerns regarding that.
Right, so they're very well trained, very well trained, very well vetted. It's a model that is happening all over the place. And they take pride on the fact that these students are younger and have a bit more of a relationship and ability to talk to the students, the high school students, about what's coming next. And the high school students seem, as far as they go and all their data shows, reacts to that advisement and discussion in a way that us old folks like me can't quite do. But we had some questions regarding that, and the policy manual and their expectations and training and follow-up put us at ease with any kind of concerns that we might have there.
So my last question is, hopefully nothing will happen, but in the event that something does happen that prevents a liability, of course, how easy is it for us to get, because it's an MOU between two parties, for us to get another person in place? Like, is that easy to do within the contract, or are you kind of locked in with?
No, we're contracting to get a college advising core person. And so if for some reason there was an issue and that they had to dismiss someone, getting someone else would immediately start that process.
Because of the contract.
And so, I mean, I'm sure there would be a gap in time, but they're committed to making sure that our contract is that we have a GCAC person, not Joe Smith, who they placed at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Although they like to see those people stay with us for 2 years to build some consistency at least. But there's certainly in the policy manual ways in which a transition will occur if it has to happen.
Okay, that was my only concern, and I'm just going by, unfortunately, by history with some of our teachers sometimes that we hire that are new, that are young.
I understand.
And so just had some concerns regarding that.
And if I may, just add, this is actually the third year that Dr. Schmidt has attempted to get the program here. So he's vetted it over the past few years to look at its strength, and we just have not committed the funds, to doing it. But this has really been an ongoing 3-year process
of review of this particular program at the University of
Yeah,
Georgia.
I definitely see it as a plus, I mean, because of the rapport that a younger person can build with our students. But with that being said, there's that that big
Exactly. I get it.
liability
Yeah.
piece as well, so that was my concern.
Sure. And they are graduates, you know, they're 22, 23, whatever age it is. They're not 19-year-old college students, they're college graduates, just as our young teachers
Now,
are.
you know, with dual enrollment though, college graduates can be 20. So.
And I may be a little prejudiced, but you know, they've been trained by the University of Georgia, so.
That's right.
Mr. Roundtree, I did not ask you any questions. Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, any other questions for Dr. Smith? All right, then, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, so motion passes. Moving on to item N.
The superintendent recommends the annual renewable contract for third-party administrator services awarded to Underwriters Group of Louisville, Kentucky be renewed for an additional term. The effective date will be July 1, 2021, with an expiration date of June 30, 2022. The estimated contract value is $46,500. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational and Operational Effectiveness, and Strategic Goal Area 2, High-Quality Workforce. Contract document is provided, and the funding source is identified, and this is item N, Madam Chair.
Are there any questions? None, we'll move on to item O.
Item O, the superintendent recommends the annual renewable contracts with the following vendors be renewed for an additional contract term. The first is Coca-Cola Refreshments with an estimated contract value of $85,000, and the second is Horizon Software, estimated contract value $38,807.59. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational, Operational, and Effectiveness. Contract documents are there for your review, and the funding sources FY22 School Nutrition Program funds, and that is item O.
Thank you. Do you have any questions about item O? If none, we'll move on to item P.
Yes, ma'am. The superintendent recommends the annual renewable contracts awarded to the following vendors be renewed for an additional contract term. The first is Mansfield Power and Gas, and this contract is for natural gas. The estimated contract value is $81,000. The second is Waste Management for waste disposal and recycling, with an estimated contract value of $189,800. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 4. Contract documents are provided, and the funding sources are identified. That is item P, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions about item P? None, we will move on to Q.
Item Q, the superintendent recommends the fiber needed for the replacement Eastside High School be purchased from Snapping Shoals Electric Member Corporation of Covington, Georgia. The total cost is $114,100. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational and Operational Effectiveness. Purchasing documentation is provided as well as the funding source. And that concludes item Q.
All right, thank you. Any questions? There are none, we'll move on to R.
Item R, the superintendent recommends the whiteboards needed for the school system be purchased from School Outfitters of Cincinnati, Ohio. The total cost will be $31,424.62. The items and their associated cost are there for your review. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational and Operational Effectiveness. Purchasing documentation is provided, and the funding source identified. And that concludes item R.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? None, we will move on to S.
And item S, the superintendent recommends the identified items be declared surplus and disposed of per board policy. Deals with Strategic Goal Area 4, and a copy of the surplus property list is provided for your review. That is item S.
Thank you. Any questions? If none, we will move on to item T.
And item T, superintendent recommends the approval of personnel matters as discussed in executive session, and board action as requested.
We have a motion to approve item T.
So moved.
Anderson Baker, do you have a second? Anderson Bailey? All right, questions? If not, I'll call for vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. And other items of interest.
So, Madam Chair, yes, our graduation schedule is listed on the agenda. Newton High School will graduate June 3rd at 8 p.m. at Sharp Stadium. Eastside High School will graduate June 4th at 8 p.m. at Sharp Stadium, and Alcovey High School will graduate June 5th at 8 p.m. at Sharp Stadium. In addition, I do want to mention that we are all probably likely aware that everyone is experiencing gasoline concerns throughout the community, throughout the state, and throughout the region, I am sure. While we've been assured by our diesel suppliers, so that's for our school buses, that the buses will not experience an interruption in service, I recognize that parents and employees may be struggling to find gas. So we are monitoring the situation and circumstances, and should there be a change, we'll notify everyone, change in plans, change in schedule. Parents and staff members, if you are experiencing specific challenges, please reach out to your building principal for guidance, and they will tell you exactly what needs to happen with regard to if you are a parent and you are unable to get your child to school. The building principal will work with you to solve that problem. And then if you are an employee and are struggling to find gasoline to get to and from work, if you would notify your principal, your building principal, to work out a solution, that would be grateful. I'll be grateful for that. And then if something changes tomorrow, we will make an announcement early enough for everyone to make a decision about what they need to do and to get prepared in the event that we are not in school. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No one else? May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Ms. Henderson Baker, second. Mr. Johnson, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Hey,